Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the new card report. The Phantom Nightmare reveals have continued, and there's a handful more cards to show you. I think I butchered that sentence. Part of my stroke. Because this is just a random grab bag of cards, and it might as well have been a stroke that created these things. So let's sit back and justify me clumping all of this shit into one video, and take a look at what it is that you'll be pulling if you buy a box of Phantom Nightmare that'll make you think, good God, who made this shit? Starting with Phantasmal Summoning Beast, a level 7 Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense that can tribute itself to add one of the original Sacred Beasts, Uriah, Haman, or Raphael, from either your deck or grave to your hand, and then will let you summon a level 10 Pyro, Thunder, or Fiend whose attack and defense are equal, ignoring its summoning conditions, but that monster will be unable to attack directly for this turn. And even better, once you've tributed it and thrown it into the graveyard, you can banish one copy of this motherfucker to add a copy of Dimension Fusion Destruction from your deck to your hand. That is the Sacred Beast Fusion spell for those uninformed. This is not only getting you the access to the fusion spell that's pretty nutty buddy, but it's also access to one of the materials. And if you have the material on board, that spell card is unrespondable to, so it's like it's just setting up the place of the deck. Isn't that crazy? The problem is, of course, it's on a level 7 body, which is what professionals call yucky. This can be summoned, granted, with the effect of, say, Spirit Gates, but it does require getting it into the graveyard or getting a Donut Stats Fiend into it beforehand, which I bring up to say, like, it's not impossible for the deck to get this out, but it isn't as convenient as it is to make other plays that the deck's already doing, which makes it mid. Yeah, that's right, if a card isn't broken, it's mid. I don't know, the card's fine to me, but it's ugly as shit, and it doesn't do much to elevate Sacred Beasts, so I don't really care. If this is actually super secret, the best thing they've ever received, call me an idiot, but I'm telling you now, I still will not care. Magmacho Dragon is also a card you can expect, ready to fill landfills across the globe. A level 8 Fire Pyro with 1800 attack and 2200 defense that will let you banish up to 3 fire monsters from your grave to give this card 400 attack for each one banished until the end of the turn. And if a fire monster you control is destroyed by card effect while this is in your grave, you can summon this card out and draw a card, but it'll be banished when it leaves the field. Fire, of course, means volcanic, so far as I'm concerned, just as long as this isn't Fire Cybers. So I don't know what to say other than how it applies to volcanic, and I'm gonna shock you right now. It sucks. I mean, I suppose you could banish 3 monsters and then summon out Emperor afterwards to get more burn damage with Emperor, but beyond that, I don't know why you'd even try to justify playing this, and even then, you know, to do that, you'd have to get this on the board, which is an ask. What are you going to do? Foolish Burial for this thing? You're going to play foolish to play foolish? Nah, not what it's about. Play smart. Don't play foolish. If you're going to play Foolish Burial and send a better card than this piece of shit. Do you see the wordplay? Probably not, because it's entirely verbal. You can't see shit. I'm only speaking. And speaking of speaking, let's get to squeaking. Fuck it, new card. Memento also has a new monster in this set, Memento Attic Ghost, a level 2 Dark Fiend with 550 attack and 400 defense that on normal or special summon can target a Memento card in your grave and then add it to your hand, other than, of course, a copy of this fuzzy little ball. And if this card itself is sent to the grave by a Memento card effect, you can special summon it back out. Holy shit, a Memento card that doesn't hate being destroyed, or actually likes being destroyed. Only took him, what, 12 monsters? The dragon doesn't count. Sorry, Trihorn Dragon enthusiasts. We finally have a playable one that doesn't mind being destroyed, because it floats, and on top of that, it can recover resources, including potentially spell or trap for whatever sort of plays it is you're trying to make. It's genuinely just a really solid card for the deck, which I did not expect at all, and I don't have much else to say. It is also, of course, a swole Karibo, because it's a spin on Wretched Ghost of the Attic, and that was a spin on Karibo, but it was beefy because it had 550 attack as opposed to 300. Karibo was better in every way by the virtue of being the first hand trap, but shut up. Okay, we're getting a random one-off that's a modern spin on a classic spell card, so let's just get to that. Yeah, that's right. By classic, I of course meant banned because I butchered the reading of the script a little bit, but I'm winging it. Back Mutation is a new normal spell card that can tribute a fusion or synchro monster to special summon a monster from your main deck that has the same level as the tributed monster, but it will be returned to the hand during the end phase. Quite literally an inverse of Metamorphosis, but updated to include synchros. It's a card with so much potential, it's actually kind of hard to judge. Don't mean, you know, we won't judge it, you know, doesn't mean we won't be judging it, but it's a little hard to just when there's so many options to cover. The most obvious deck you've heard of by now, I'm sure, is of course Runick, a deck that is made up of entirely instant fusions in practice that will give you access to levels 2, 3, 4, 5, and 9. Makes for a very solid choice of deck including a Runick engine to include Back Mutation here. Although I don't know what sort of psycho would try to justify playing the 9, like Runick Generator. If you're playing Runick Generator, like, seek help immediately. Still, there's the easy enough thing to point out of Hugin's level 2, meaning it's got even more viability in Runick sprite variants, be it Fur Hire or Live Twin or Gishki, for that one guy who swears that that's still a thing. I don't even think Gishki Sprite, I don't think Gishki Sprite played with Runick at all. I think this joke just sucks. But I don't know, there's other cheeky things you can do with it. I've seen people talk about playing it Chimera to tribute the fusion, get a Bestial, and since the monster it summons bounces back to the hand, summoning Magnemite and getting a search off of it means you're effectively getting 2 Bestials for the cost of your 1 fusion, which is not bad at all. I've also seen things like sending the level 1 Infernoid fusion to get out Decatron. There's a lot of potential for this, is what I mean to say. And there's a lot of cheeky plays when you take into account hand traps, depending on what you contribute to get to the field to allow to bounce back to your hand, making this an inadvertent way to search something like even Ash Blossom without having to play Small World. And of course, for OCG players and inevitable Master Duel players, you can tribute a level 2 summon Max C, bounce Max C to your hand, and then you've got Max C that way. So ain't that a thing? It's unsearchable, it's not usable in every deck, but it's got a high ceiling, and that makes it neat. Neat enough to clickbait? I certainly hope so, because that's probably what I did for this video. And wrapping up this video, we'll finish off with a V-Jump promo because it's a fucking Pendulum and it'll take 9 years to read the effects. Pendulum Witch is level 3 Earth spellcaster with 1500 attack, 800 defense, and a scale of 8. The Pendulum effect activates when a fusion, synchro, or Xyz monster is destroyed while this is face up on your Pendulum scale, and will add a Pendulum monster with the same type as one of the destroyed monsters from your deck onto your face up extra deck. Neat! The monster effect can once per turn on normal or pendulum summon, target a card in the pendulum zone, your pendulum zone I should specify, pop both that card and this card, and then add any level 4 or lower pendulum monster from your deck to your hand. But it's okay, because if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can then place it into your pendulum zone, so you still can retain your scales, you'll just get another search. And that's all this thing does, doesn't it? It just searches. In the scale, it'll need an extra monster zone, you know, or an extra deck monster to die, which is lame, but I don't know, at least it's a high scale copium. Really, it's that monster effect on summon that makes it worthwhile, or at least solid enough, able to get any level 4 pendulum in the game or lower, which is fine enough, especially since it, again, does also give you a high scale. That's not unplayable. That's certainly the second best normal after Skullcrobat Joker, I think. I don't play Pendulum, you tell me. It also keeps the circus theme, that's what I've noticed, which is a very fitting thing to include on Pendulum cards, because the main people who play Pendulums are, of course, clowns. Fuck, dude. Pendulum catching strays? Nah, Pendulum under direct fire. Just all-out assault. For no reason, I can't tell you why, I just did it. But it's a fine addition to the collection, so to say. It's a better V-Jump promo, what the fuck? It's a better V-Jump promo than that Magician of Faith retrain was. And that is the full summary of my thoughts on it. It's really just like, well, I guess it's not shit. So, eat your heart out, Pendulum players. Shoutouts, of course, go to the LIFD Magnetic Display for sponsoring the video. As always, an excellent way to support my channel and an excellent way for me to show off whatever the hell it is I put in this at the beginning of each video. Take, for example, today, where I put relevant Metamorphosis and then 2 random pieces of shit that were laying on the floor. Because that's what half this video is going to be. Ba-boom! Oh, not Mag Macho Dragon under attack. Who Who could have seen that coming? Literally no one. But you know what you can see coming? One of the LIFDs coming to your doorway by using my promo code YGOStrats15 for 15% off. Thanks to LIFD for the sponsorship as always. Thank you for watching. Now to wrap it up for this new card report, just covering some of the new cards in this one. The regular update will of course be out on Friday as usual. Until then, I've been your host, Gregory Fee. That's me. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, and doing so will immediately impress your smoking Italian wife, whether it be from her attractiveness or her habit in regards to cigarettes, and of course will make you a true duelist, and that's really what matters, isn't it?